Hey guys, this is Rainwolf, and we're back with Yashahime, and we're fight out of the boredom.
Hey guys, this is Kirito Silverheart here, and yeah, this episode was pretty interesting. I'm pretty excited to talk about this one.
And this is Asuna Silverheart. Thank you for joining us.
Wait, and this is Lyria.
As always.
There we go. We're starting out how we usually do.
Perfect.
Let's go.
I love everything about it.
As we start into this, we pretty much jump straight into a flashback way into the past.
Yeah, what was that? 200 years?
It was 200 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of pretty much Riku as a retainer when he was on the ship with them, the Four Perils, and that with Karimaru's, he has a high thing into honor when it comes to a fight.
Yeah, so it's at this point we find out that the great dog demon is very ill, very wounded, very beaten down, broken, and the Four Perils want Kiranmaru to basically just show up so they can take over the world. And Kiranmaru backlashes at the Perils and was just like, you guys have no honor whatsoever. There is no honor in defeating your enemy unless they are at their prime.
Yeah.
Which I gotta give it to him for that, you know.
I agree.
I made a joke to Asuna and I was like, well, okay, Xenos. For any Final Fantasy 14 players out there.
Yeah, don't kick a dog while they're down, I guess would be the best. I mean,
So we're sitting there, and we also see Zero sitting next to Karimaru as well. But then as he's leaving, they had this whole conversation about the honor and kicking somebody while they're down. He calls Riku. Riku comes. We see him even in the very beginning of this. His personality or
lack thereof.
Yeah,
he's not
way different.
He's brand new, kids, is what I think. He's not aware, he's very confused. He's very subservient too. Extremely so. He does not question, and the Perils look at him with just like complete disgust.
Because they hate how loyal he is. And you listen, because as soon as he's like, gather the finest medical herbs you can find.
And he just is like, on it, done, and leaves.
Yep. And we find out that earring is not a pearl.
Yeah, it's 100% confirmation that was never a pearl. It's just a magically imbued item.
Yep. So it transitions over to a snowy day. There's a fire going on, and it's the mansion of Lady Idozaya, pretty much Inuyasha's mother. It's a mansion.
Yep. And the great demon dog is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Riku show up, and he was like, oh.
Guess I'm too late.
Didn't make it in time. Oh, well.
No emotion, no nothing. And then it transitions right after the opening is more, and we see more of Lady Zero and the Shikon Jewel with Riku. And this is where we see where the jewels are formed from Lady Zero's tears and the Shikon Jewel.
Yeah, when she starts to after he proceeds to tell her that, the great dog demon's dead, she becomes very upset.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has this odd thing, and she's an old demon, and you can tell that she's of a different, they were almost an odd tribal type, maybe.
I think out of all the demons, they're age-wise of the oldest are Lady Zero and Karimaru.
Yeah.
The Perils, with the way they act, seem fairly young. They seem like younger
demons. So it's almost like it's that, your friend, one of your old friends has passed. She's extremely sad, devastated, maybe even loved him at one point. And she's devastated. So she makes that like wish on the Shikon Jewel. Like she
removes her demon powers and pretty much her emotions in this case.
She's no longer a demon.
What is she?
But she's not a human. Yeah, that's the thing that catches me. What is she?
Because
let's
go
still
back
be alive
for a second now, and these jewels still exist.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned she's got some god powers.
Become a deity or something in between.
Something that she's not human, nor is she demon, which kind of strikes me odd that she's there and Kiranmaru hasn't done away with her yet. Do you know what I mean? Because he's going to be killed by something that is not human nor demon, and
now
he keeps going after half demon babies, but like she's not either. So what? Yeah,
it kind of brings her into that play now, because we know that she's pretty. If I remember correctly, I think she's the half sister of Karimaru.
Sometimes, and I'm curious because Riku really wasn't at that time he wasn't aware. I don't know if he would have told Kirimaru what happened.
No.
Because he's really confused about it. Like he doesn't even know. She at one point tells him to use his head, and he like is use my head, and he's bobbling it back and forth like he's going to use his head, but he's not sure what he's using it for.
Mm-hmm. Then it flashes out to the point where now we see Riku 200 years later with 3 of the jewels, and he says, "Madam," as he clutches his fist of the jewels. It won't be long until I have all 7. And then it transitions over to Setsuna fussing at Toa to stay home.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Good for you for trying, Setsuna. Good
Oh,
for you
she-
for
Did you even
trying.
catch the comment of stay as well behaved as Kalala usually is?
I
Usually.
laughed out loud. with that.
Usually, listen, Kilala is a cat. All right, and anyone who owns a cat is very much aware that
She's
cats
old
are
as mess, but still.
Yeah, like still, cats, no matter what, kind of every now and then get into stuff. Okay, if anyone's been listening to this podcast, every now and then you'll hear one of mine like back there screeching in the background because he's doing something, mostly attacking his tail. But cats don't always behave, so I'll give it to Kilala. It's okay.
And as they're flying off on Kilala, Hitsui and Setsuna, it's like, that was more of a thorough warning than usual. She was like, it's the new moon. She is a human.
I mean, at least she's looking out for her. That's. I mean,
And I find, I don't know if anyone else noticed the blanket that she has right now into the flashback when she talks about Rin leaving or being kidnapped.
Pay attention, really, honestly, about the blanket.
They look exactly the same.
Ooh.
So there's a possibility this blanket that Rin has right now, or not Rin, Toa
Toa.
is been using, is their mother's.
And I mean, it's kind of sad. Yeah.
Aw.
She even makes the comments like, "You remind me of her." I was like,
Yeah,
"Who?"
she taught it. Yeah. Toa realizes that Grandma actually knew her mother, and she lived
Mhm.
with her for quite a while. And I just, in my mind, I have this visual of like Shishomaru just one day dropping Rin off, like he's sending her to daycare.
Well, the
with
thing
Grandma.
is, after the whole, even
Like here, and he
before
just
the huge
leaves her there.
fight, he left her there for safety, and then
Mhm.
afterwards, he kind of left her there so that she could be raised around other humans.
Yeah, because Shishomaru was. I'll give Shishomaru at least that he wasn't human. He knew he wasn't human. He knew he didn't even begin to understand human, and that
he knew what she needed to become a proper person.
Yeah, because Jockin's not going to teach her to be human either. So, like, bless him, he tried.
Mhm. And she finds out that their mother's name is Rin, because sometime after your birth, she has suddenly disappeared. Don't know if someone took her away or if she left on her own. And then this is where it really sticks out because it's an overhead view of the 2 cots, the one Lady Kadada sleeps in, and then the one Rin was sleeping in.
Yeah, she's like, she could be dead. I don't know.
It's only been 14 years since then.
Be nonchalant about it, though.
Mhm.
Like, she
Well,
might be dead.
She's kind of seen death a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that is-
A
yeah.
She's
lot.
had her
That's what it-
sister.
Human.
Now
does
she's even
mention
had
that.
Kagome. She truly doesn't. Well, even though she knows they're gone, but it's to her, it's
Yeah,
death
for
because you don't know if they're ever going to come back or what.
yeah,
It
she's
even
her
mentions it on the
sister.
show, though. Like, it
Her
says,
older sister, I mean, like all these people die and she keeps going. And I mean, I think that's one of the reasons she is so long lived. She's very accepting of the fact of this is what we do
Mm-hmm.
and people
we've
die.
all established that she's gonna outlive, like, the entire...
Yeah, she's gonna, yeah, they'll be like their children's children. They'll still be talking about to grandma. Like she's deep down inside. Like the truth is, like grandma probably does have some magic or something that she's
It's
using.
probably
that
the
she's not
priestess
telling anybody.
abilities that she is so in depth into it that it's kind of giving her longevity.
It
in a way.
really is. Yeah.
Then she wishes her a good night's sleep. She cuts out the lights. Toa goes to sleep and has a dream, and then wakes up to the dream butterfly right outside the window. She gets up, starts running after it.
let's not gloss over the fact of what her dream is. She actually has the dream about the dream butterfly and its connection with Sasuna going to the Tree of Ages and passing energy on to Rin.
Yeah.
And at that point is when she starts putting 2 and 2 together of, oh wait, that could be our mother. Like, what's going on here?
No, I was like, what was your first clue that she looks like you? Like, just like her. When her hair's dark and she's human, she looks just like her mother.
Oh, she's so It's like we brought it up before. Lady Kirade even brings it up now during this moment because this is her first time seeing her like this.
And she doesn't even point out the fact that she looks like her mother. She was like, "You act like your mother."
Not completely though. Rin slightly less derp.
Well, yes.
Okay, but I'm not talking about a reference to derp. She's talking about the fact of how much of a kind-hearted soul she is.
Yeah,
you gotta remember what the two different points of raising. One, she was raised in the modern era, then Rin was raised with her parents for a couple years, died, raised with a demon for a good number of years, then with Lady Kirade.
Don't forget Jockin. He tried. He wasn't very good at
so.
He wasn't very good at it. You said demon 1, 2. There was 2. He's kind of short. My favorite thing, I think it's the last episode or one of the last episodes, like Rin and Jockin have this like very touching moment where like you realize Jockin actually cares for her, and she's just like, "I love you too," and he's just like, "Oh, I didn't say that, but okay." Like, it's my favorite thing.
So she gets to the tree, and then it feels cold, so she digs into her backpack and then sees fireflies. It transitions over to our last peril. He's in the sky. It's like, I remember Colton stating that during this time frame, one of the princesses loses their demon powers. Let's go after them. Calls the pearl sends in that direction, and then we find Riku.
Yeah, I mean, and he's actually pretty smart for doing that. I mean, had Riku not been there, Toa would have been boned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Riku, because Riku was there too, and like he
was pulling the moves at this. That's all I gotta say.
He was, but also like Riku was coming to take the jewel as well. But then he also realized she didn't have powers, and I think there's that Kirimaru thing in him with honor, where he was like, "I guess I'm not," because at the beginning he says, "I guess I'm not going to be taking the jewel tonight."
Well, but
like,
the reason he
was trying to take something else from her.
The reason he says that than normal.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Is the reason he says that is because apparently when she is in human form, the pearl is, I guess, protected. It's like retracted, more embedded.
Well, it would make sense because now pretty much her human side is to the surface, and her demonic side is kind of recessed or lost in other terms.
So it's not going to be so easy to extract it at this point.
Yeah, he knows that, and I think also he kind of didn't want to.
He's a shady little guy, but in this whole episode, I think there's a little more to it. And even though there's that whole nonsense for him, the Toa and him situation, but it's kind of weird.
Every couple they have is weird. There's not a normal couple.
No, the only one that's fine is Hitsui and Satsuda.
They're okay. They I feel comfortable with as people.
This one, it's like
it just
you have to have that one really uncomfortable like couple in every. I feel like
Yashahime and Rin.
Yeah, there has to be that weird couple where you're just like, I feel the heebie-jeebies. I don't feel comfortable. I need an adult.
Like we've established, we just have to have those To Catch a Predator couples. It's very, Rin Sesshomaru, now Riku, and
Toa
creepy,
and creepy.
Creeper.
It was really kind of sweet at first. She makes him tea with the tea bag. He's like, "This is the best tea I've ever had." They're looking at the stars. It was cute, kind of, for like 5 seconds.
And he brings up more of his past.
Yeah.
And then it clicks. Oh, you're working with Kirimaru? Fuck.
She's just like, what? Whoa.
That's exactly the sound she would have made, Lyria. What? No.
My mind is blown.
They're having tea, they're vanished. And he talks about the winter fireflies where they vanish, that their life just goes poof.
Yeah, and he uses the exact same lines that Lady Zero does about, fleeting mortality and the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to see that throughout this whole thing, like as conniving and underhanded and bastard level Riku is, I mean, he's still kind of about as naive and lost and stuff as Toa is.
Yeah.
I think that might be part of the attraction between the two of them.
I think you're pretty much spot on at that point.
Yeah, there's a naivety that they share, and they kind of communicate on that level.
Then he brings out the other pearls, stating there are 7 in total. What happens if you gather all of them? Like, all 7 pearls have never been gathered before.
Which is BS because when they were formed, they were all together and nothing happened. They sat there with the Shikon jewel.
Well, the Shikan Joel, in other terms, is much stronger than these pearls are.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
how long they've stayed like that, though, is the question.
Yeah.
Did Zero send them off, or did she give them to Kiramaru right away, and he gave each one to his perils, or sent them off wherever they were supposed to go?
And the weird thing is when anything is ever created, definitely when it comes to artifacts or jewel or whatever you want to call them in fantasy lore, stuff like that, a lot of the times when they're first created, nothing happens. But once they're always returned together is when something happens.
That is true.
And he also brings up the comments of, oh no, all 7 will probably increase your power, or perhaps devastating degenerate age could begin. That's kind of already a thing that exists.
Truth.
And the world has already been corrupted. A lot of demons are after them, right?
Well, yeah,
But
I mean, I love the fact that he actually calls it out. He's like, yeah, the world's basically gone to shit anyway, so probably not that.
But the facial expression they gave him during that scene, or the triangle eyes,
That was
Yeah.
funny.
I think that was one of his least shady moments.
Well, I honestly think that I don't know, personally, I think it kind of added to the shadiness a little bit because it's like deep down, he knows what's going to happen when all 7 shards are brought back together.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go to Lady Zero and she's going to get her powers back, and that's going to start a major war or something.
And he remains, it's like, Toa says, like, so you're after mines as soon as in Morales as well. And it's like, and then he reaches out his hands, like, if you remain calm, I can remove it without hurting you.
Yeah, and the fact that he just kind of leans in and goes for it, I'm like, what? Come on. Come on.
No. You're not that sly.
No.
Then you have Tetsui turns up out of the blue from the sky. Toa's like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, she's already like weirded out because her like pseudo boyfriend's trying to rip the jewel from her eyeball, and then here comes giant flying douche, like, and she has no powers, and she's just like, "Is this seriously happening right now?" Like,
Riku pushes her out of the way as he lands.
I love it when Totosu shows up because the first words out of Riku's mouth were, "You're distasteful and you're interrupting our date."
Yes, you wretched bug. I won't forgive you this. Flicks his his earring. Sword appears.
That sword is pretty bamf, though. Like,
I
as simple
actually
as
like
it
the
looks,
design of
that's
it.
pretty bamf.
And it kind of fits with his stature, though. It's a blade that kind of fits for him.
Yeah, it's almost a pirate cutlass.
Yeah, that's what it really looks like. And he is stated as a pirate in all this case.
A pirate washed ashore, which,
It's
I mean, now that we know that he was disowned by Kiramaru, who lives on the ship, then yeah, that just really
Makes
makes
sense.
more sense.
and he was
The
a
thing is,
puppet.
I find that kind of weird as well because remember in one of the other episodes earlier. Oh wait, no, that was during a flashback. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. So yeah, that kind of really brings up some more.
And in case anybody was wondering or doubting the fact that he no longer works for Kiramaru, Totosu even calls it out. He was like, "You're still betraying us. Myself, Lord Kiramaru, and Lady Zero will never forgive you for what you're doing." I'm like, all right, so that cements it right there. He is literally his own faction.
Then Totosu tries to eat him. He spawns some masma bugs. He
The
sucks into.
The first thing that popped in my head was, like I've said before, there's little I know about Inuyasha, but I immediately had flashbacks to that scene with Moroku using the wind tunnel and sucking up all the miasma bugs and then just starts bleeding out, basically.
This is just even more hilarious because as the miasma bugs spawn, in other words, he sucks in a couple. He lets him being pulled in, has one in his hand, chucks it in, and jumps back.
No, he didn't have one in his hand. He had them bundled. There was a bundle of them. There was a swarm, like in a blanket, basically.
Well, no,
and
it's
he
a swarm.
flings the whole thing in.
Well, no, he sucks in all of them, and then there's one in his hand, and he chucks it in. I'm looking at the scene now.
After the vacuum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Then drop kicks him, and then it's like, have some poison bees instead. And Totosu notices, and he's like, damn, them asthma bugs. They're nasty little creatures.
Yeah.
Because he loses it for a minute there. He has no control. Toa's about to get nailed by a giant tree. Riku grabs her just in the nick of time.
My hero.
He spits out the bugs, gets nailed by the miasma bugs. I'm like, right here is kind of where his shadiness kind of fades a little bit because with how nasty miasma bugs are to anything, no matter how powerful of a demon you are. He got stung like by 3 or 4 of them in the back.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was bleeding out and everything. I'm just like, man, that's even for Riku, that's kind of a rough hit.
Yeah, not because he's not just taking the stingers to the back; he's taking also their poison. And then you see how badly he's bleeding as they're walking away because there's some pretty dark blood spots.
Yeah, and it's in significant quantities too.
Yeah. Then he brings up Kurimaru again, and it's like, well, also suppose it's like I was thrown away by my master.
Yeah, and Toa finally puts 2 and 2 together.
He coughs up. He falls to the ground again. It's like the blood's not stopping. Like it's like they're a real pain. Leans him against the tree. Why would you continue to help me like this? Are the words that come from Toa, knowing Kurimaru is my enemy. Rika brings the points of I can't seem to understand it as well. No real reason to be protecting you. Then you get the slight blush on Toa's face.
Yeah, I mean, he blatantly says it again that, okay, so you're my former master's enemy, and you have what I need. You're powerless, so there's really no reason why I shouldn't kill you, other than the fact of I only kill the people I love.
Yep, because yeah.
So maybe that means I don't love you yet or enough.
On the contrary, if I love you, then I should have killed you by now. Then, as you said, it's like maybe I don't have enough love yet.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like sort your shit and find a purpose.
Yes. Find out which side you're going to fight for already. And
Oh my goodness.
Tozu's castaway puppet. They're never going to. And as you said earlier, Lady Zero, Lord Kurimaru, and I will never forgive you of your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Flicks the ring. The sword comes back. Like, it really isn't to my taste. Charges forward. Crimson Dragon Wave. Scourge of Swallows.
Giant crater of destruction.
Yes.
I saw that impact zone when the smoke cleared, and the first thing that popped in my head was that scene from Avengers where Iron Man, Thor, and Cap are in the forest fighting at night.
With how big the Crimson Dragon Wave was, you know that wasn't going to be pretty. And that fight you're talking about, yes, I fully agree. So then they both of them land next to Toa. Satsuna has Toa's blade. Maraha's yelling at her that they've been looking all over for her. It's like... she crouches down like, I didn't do that. Sun's up, blade gets handed to her, smiles.
Yeah, the hair's back, the powers are back, Pearl shines.
I love what Kalala does here.
Just growls in pure beast mode.
Like, I get to have some fun.
Yeah, growls and Kilala.
So he tries to fly away to escape, and right from above, sleek.
Okay, so this is my favorite scene in this episode.
Yes.
And you can fight me on this. But the sword comes down, slices off his head, he drops, and there's Riku clutching the orange pearl in his hand that he picks up. And he's like, I only kill the ones I love, but I guess for you, I'll make an exception. And I'm like, finally!
Yes.
Finally, be a badass. Hell yes, come on.
Yes, he was a complete badass on this one, and it was awesome. He hugs Toa, pushes her away, flicks the earring, disappears again. Toa, capital
okay,
grade,
I'm sorry. This
Pumbass.
This right here, the hugging her, and then Sasuna like, no, back up off my sister because, you're a shady asshole. And he shoves her down and teleports away. This is fucking preschoolers on the playground. I like you, but
yes,
BS here.
She gives him her damn pearl.
And it was at this moment, everyone knew that she fucked up.
Here, gee golly gosh. Here you go. Like, oh my god.
I had an audible sound that I made that can't be reproduced for this podcast right now that I made when that happened.
I really wish I had recorded
I
while we watched that scene.
Just
This
done.
is one of those
I
moments
was
where
done.
wish...
I was like, I can't even right now.
The moment she looks at Riku and you see the silver pearl glow from her eye, Asuna makes this type of noise, and then she grabs it and throws it to him, and she was like,
The fuck? I was like, I like you, and I don't know about love, but I like you, so I'm going to give you this magical pearl that endues me with demon power. I don't think so. I love Kirito. I would not give him my demon pearl. Okay?
Right.
He wouldn't give me his. If we had a demon pearl, it would be our demon
yes.
pearl. You wouldn't talk about it. It would be your demon
And
pearl.
knowing now that this gives him 5 pearls, she flat out says, "Here, you can have mine, but do me a favor, let the other girls keep theirs."
Like,
Bitch.
no, you're just like
We have a hard enough time. Like, we had to share Ben and Jerry's ice cream earlier. That was a big life decision, okay? And
So-
she's just handing out pearls like they're nothing. Like, I got a whole drawer of these bitches at home.
Leia, I know you have a
She,
number of words to say.
she did that, and I'm just screaming about how I hope Setsuna goes full demon and like rips her face off because it just angered me. Because like, why would you do that? And why would you think he would just be like, well, okay, I won't take your sisters. Yeah, that. No.
But he doesn't even promise. He doesn't even promise. And see, here's the thing that pisses me off even more. Okay. So she does it. And the other two look at her and go, "But you're sure that was a good idea?" Because
Muraha's like, what the hell are you thinking? You can see it, all her wide eyes, everything.
Yeah, Setsuna made sounds too. Setsuna was like,
Yeah, but Muraha was more
what?
expressional.
well, it's Miroha, so it's gonna
yeah,
be.
but I'm sorry.
Miroha.
I'm sorry. If I was part of a team like that
I expected
and
Miroha.
somebody gave up like their ultimate power to a potentially bad guy, I would beat the shit out of them right then and there.
I'm sorry. If I was Sasuna, I would like one of those moments. I'm gonna throw you off this cliff now. Good luck.
Yes. Yes.
Like you-
This is when the moment needs to happen of the survival of the strongest. Because apparently
the trial
Toa's
of
too
courage
fucking
and cowardice.
stupid.
This is one of those moments where it should have been Satsuna and Muraha. Grab her. You know how we're one person on each side. One grabs the top of the shirt, and one grabs at the waist, and 1 and a 2 and a 3.
See, the problem is it's a feudal Japan, and they don't have bathrooms. That's why women travel to bathrooms and pack so we can discuss what's wrong with Becky. Okay, like that's what we do. We're all
Wrong
like,
with
we gotta all
Becky.
go to the bathroom because Becky's about to make a poor decision with this Chad. Like, we need to talk about this. This is the problem. This was what the issue was. They didn't go to the bathroom to discuss what they need to do, and it caused this.
Yeah, Toa can't even use her naivety anymore because she's been in feudal Japan for long enough. Like you know what's going on. You know that this pearl is important, and you just gave it to him.
You got a crush on a creepy
Creeper McCreeperson.
puppet pirate, and you've made a horrible decision.
Yes.
She realized.
I'm sorry. What should have happened in this moment is Kilala jumps into the middle and swallows the goddamn thing.
I'm sorry.
I really expect Toa to, I was expecting Miroha to jump between Toa and just be like, "This is mine now."
This is one of those
Right.
moments
take
I
it.
wish Susuda was really like her father, because at this point, knowing Sesshomaru definitely in his past before he is now, it would have just been hand through the chest. Not my problem anymore.
Oh yes, I would have loved if Shishomaru came down and was like, "Nope, not my daughter, not her pearl. Go
I
home."
disown you. He literally would have done that.
If Sasuna had Shishomaru's full-blown scale of powers, what would have happened is Sasuna would have flown down, teleported in between the two of them, caught the pearl, stabbed Riku without even looking.
And then bitch slapped her sister so hard she wouldn't wake up for 2
Bitch
weeks.
slapped her soul from the body.
Just-
We'll let you sit here for a while and think about it. Then I'll put your soul back.
Thing with Toa is that she realizes, basically
Yeah, I know.
immediately that this
Because
was
after
a bad
Sasuna makes
idea.
the few comment of, "Oh, he's our enemy, right?"
Yeah, Miroha's like, like
Shades
bathrooms. I'm
behind.
telling you, if they had a bathroom, they could have went and took her there, talked to her about this situation, and they
There
could have
was
kept that.
there was that pause moment of click, click, click. Oh shit!
Can I have that back, Riku? And he hears her, and he keeps walking. He's
Yep.
he's not giving that pearl back.
And then the comedic moments even keep on coming because now Merle has a head.
Oh my
Yes.
god, that was great.
Kicking it. He tries to
So
bite
happy.
back. Merle's like, "Nope." Punch.
Yeah, I like when Miroha was like, how you gonna eat me? You ain't got no stomach.
And hits him again. He goes pale. Soul goes
She
leaving the
bags
body.
him.
She's
yeah, like
dragging
the
him
soul
away.
leaving. Yeah. Miroha is the best.
Well, and this is the moment where she's actually explaining to where Toa is like, "I can still use my blade. I have I still have enough demon energy. The blade forms.
And Susuna's just like, yeah, but the pearl gives you immense energy.
Yep.
And he works for Kirin Maru, and she was like, "Oh shit, that's right. Can I have it back?"
As
Oh wait, he's
Maruha's
gone.
dragging the head in this known tarp wherever it came from.
That was amazing. She's like, I'm not gonna have to worry about food for a long time. Like,
It's like, food my ass. You better hope that this pays off your debt.
I was gonna say, I was super happy for. I would say that I was very happy for Maruha. This has been all season. She's been trying to get a demon head, and she got a demon head.
Yep. And it's one of the
Now I'm
perils.
very
so it's a
upset she's gonna
hefty-
drag that back, and he's gonna be like, the bounty's not that big on that one. And she's gonna just be like, bleep, 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 like just
It'll be
lose
bleep,
it.
bleep, bleep, and then look to Sasuna. It's like, I know you're Sashomaru's daughter, right? Can you shank,
You just cut him a little bit.
take your hand through his chest or something?
I'm gonna have forever in my mind Shishomaru putting his hand through Riku's chest every time Riku comes on again to do something weird. Just like
Yes.
ripping his still beating heart out, throwing it, and then like dragging his daughter off by her hair. You're going back home.
You've seen some of the little clips or the images.
I know.
They're
It's,
hilarious.
I mean, it's great.
You know, if Riku is as much of a shell of a puppet as they were talking about, wouldn't it kind of lead you to think that he might be, I don't know, some kind of like artificially created entity or something?
That's my guess.
That was my
Like
guess.
some kind of a homunculi or something like
Yeah,
that?
there's something weird
With the
him.
comments that definitely were made during this episode. I would
About
agree.
how he had like the same scent, or I forget what word. It was something that he
Same
was
scent.
like similar. Yeah, it was Kirin Maru. So I do think he's like a homunculi or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where it was one of those things of he has Kirimaru's scent because he spent so much time with him. You know, he was under his service and favor and everything like that. Or is it because he's in some way created by Kirimaru, genetically part of Kirimaru?
That's what I was going with because of the scent theme. Also, the fact that at the beginning he was so not feeling and so much like a puppet. It seemed like he was
made. There's not an actual being.
Yeah.
Here's another question. This is not Sasuna's first time around Riku.
There was probably
And if
something
her scent
hiding
of
it.
smell is that good, how the hell did she not pick up the Kirimaru thing before?
Unless he's visited with Kirimaru more recently.
There's that, or there was he was using something to hide it at first, but now he's at the point where he doesn't care, or he knows his goals are approaching.
There's something.
Because there's always ways to hide their scent.
Yeah, I mean, we even saw that with the barrier magic that Moroha and Toa used.
Mm-hmm.
Sasuna couldn't find them either through energy or scent.
Yep.
Okay, I can let that slide a little bit, I guess.
So is everyone good for the episode?
Riku's shady and Toa's a dumbass. So
Are you?
yeah,
just
I think that about
recognizing it?
covers it.
This preview, though, this is a really exciting preview that we've had in a long time, because now we got Zero visiting Moroku. She's like, "Lend me the fruits of your training, the power of the seal."
Yeah, she steals the ability to manipulate a seal.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, this is gonna get bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like Toa doesn't have a pearl. Lady Zero can now remove Sasuna's seal. I was like, this is going to get bad.
And then there's also the frame where there's Hisui, and I think that's his sister there. That would make sense, because that's the only other female we know of. I don't remember what she looks like because it's been a while. Because we only had that one episode, and there wasn't many frames with her. So
right.
And they're fighting and fighting. Toa gets stabbed in the back.
Oh my gosh.
By the poison claw. You can tell because it's green.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have her holding her from the back. Suna's going apeshit. She has these purple wings.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's from the dream butterfly.
Thank you. I was going to ask that. Is that part of the dream butterfly effect, or is
it
that...
has to be, because there's no way for their bloodline.
They're not going to have wings because
they don't have wings. They can. Yeah, I mean,
their flight is done by their body. It's
yeah, Shishomaru can fly, but he's never had wings. That's something weird with the dream butterfly.
It's pretty much kind of like this tail. In his human form, his tail is what enables him to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Because in his true demon form, he has like little clouds or whatever you want to call them at his feet that allow him to fly or walk on the air or whatever you want to.
I feel like it's setting it up, like all the places, there's just a few episodes left, and it's setting it up I think this
It's
has
really
potential to be really interesting. Where we
Yeah.
were kind of let down. Like last episode wasn't too awful, but like the last few before that, we were kind of waffled
Yeah.
about.
And
This
as I
one I
said,
feels like gonna make up for it a lot.
yeah, and as I said, there were probably the last couple episodes were going to be the full build up for the end of the season
Yes.
to leave it with full excitement. So when they do bring it back, the excitement is still there that people still want to watch it. Because if you leave it with a dud for the season, there's not going to be as many people excited to see the next season of it.
And I'm telling you, like, if they don't bring it back for another season, if they decide to wrap it up in some kind of a movie or something, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Since there's no prior content, there's the possibility to wrap it up in a movie, determining on how they do the next 2 episodes or next 3 episodes. Determining on how they do those next 3 episodes, wrapping it up in a movie is possible since there is no prior content before release.
True.
Because pretty much this is all coming up as we go, pretty much. Or there was written content and just never made it to a manga, and she decided to just animate it. So I'm excited. I'm so far, even with the dull moments we've had the past couple episodes, I'm liking the way it's closing out so far.
Yeah. I
I
think
won't
this
mind the dull moments like with a watch through. Right now, it's just the fact that I just want to know what's going on, and I don't want a bunch of fillers.
Yeah,
I fully agree.
ready for story. Like
Exactly.
we've waited, we've been patient about it. We know we weren't going to get all the answers right away, but
Yeah.
we've
But
got
a lot of
enough
stuff
now.
is giving a little bit of Riku's backstory here was kind of an interesting concept into it. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, and that leads me to wonder exactly what Riku's role in this whole thing is going to play out to be, because the only people that we've really seen full-blown detailed background stories for are our 3 heroines.
Yep.
So, who knows? Maybe Riku flips the script on us.
With the way this episode leans, that's a 50-50 chance. Because
So we have to wait and
this
see.
episode really kind of made his position in the series kind of not a solid one-sided anymore, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
For the
Definitely.
longest time, it's always been one-sided for him, but now it's a little between the two.
I kind of have a feeling, even though he is a creeper, I kind of do have the feeling he's going to be more on the side of good. That's just my feeling.
Well, if his
Personally,
He
character
definitely
keeps-
has like set himself apart. Like we know that he is working independently, that he is after his own means. He is not working with Kiranmaru. He was abandoned, pretty much. So it's like sometimes your own means change, and
yeah.
the things that have been said and the things that have he's done so far. Even though it's setting up something, at any point it could change.
He's very gray area to me.
Yeah.
I think he's this series Shishomaru.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
He's leaning more of pretty much taking Shishomaru's spot, and
With more of an Oedipus complex.
yeah,
Because, I mean, let's face it, he basically kind of spells it out in this episode that he's gathering the 7 pearls because they are the essence of the woman who has basically raised him and taught him, Lady Zero. So is he trying to get them because he wants her to have her powers back? Because he wants her to be whole again? Because he thinks that making her whole will make him whole and make them fall in love? I mean, what the hell's going on? What is his motivation?
very big lost.
Mhm.
So, any last thoughts from anybody?
I got
All right.
nothing. I think we've raged enough.
Yeah,
we raged
very
pretty
much
hard
so.
early on. We're excited for the next one. And that does it.
Riku's bipolar and shady.
Toe is an idiot.
Toe is a dumbass.
Yeah.
And Setsuna and Murahara are just as confused as everyone else. So, yeah, it covers it.
Alrighty then. So I would like to thank everybody that has been watching so far from the beginning to now. Leave a like, comment your thoughts as well. We would love to hear them. We like to talk about them, even if if it comes up to something that we don't talk about in the next episode, because we get so caught up in that current episode, but for the post show. So leave a like, comment, maybe even subscribe. Check out some of our other content. And by the looks of it, we will be bringing back our convention news, and look forward to that. The editing is actually going to be a bit different. It is going to be done by our good friend Kyo Ultimate Facepalm. So go and check out some of his content. Check out the video that me, Sarah Buttons, T and Hemi, and Kyo Ultimate Facepalm were actually in. It was his first time into GTFO. Very interesting. We kind of threw him into it hard. You'll just have to
I'll
watch
say.
So mean.
So-
So mean.
Spoiler alert, Rain Wolf is an a-hole.
Oh.
Till Until next time, I am Rainwolf.
I'm Kira Silverheart.
I'm Austin the Silverheart. Lyria.
And I'm Lyria. There we go. Yep.
Later, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.